I wonder, what is this?
Dr. Pym?
You don't need to raise your hand, Scott.
Sorry, I just have one question. Who are you? Who is she? What the hell's going on? And can I go back to jail now?
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Brick Maker channel, and today I'm excited to bring you a very, well, somewhat different character run. Weirdly enough, this run did not come from finding the Ant-Man armor on the mod menu. It actually came from the cheat terminal. Now the cheat terminal is something I've been adding in to, potentially make other new videos just to see what kind of things I can use with it. Nothing to make the runs easier, just something that, can assist with making the videos maybe a bit more interesting. And one of the first things I found is that you can change the height. And not just can you change it to a little bit taller or a little bit smaller, you can make him tiny or you can make him massive. So with that all found, I thought what better way to show off all the different ways that you can use the cheat menu than doing a run like this. The first Marvel run, maybe not the last. We'll see if you guys have any other suggestions in the comments. But without any further ado, we can ask the question, can you beat Fallout 4 as Ant-Man? Our journey starts off, as it always does, in the bathroom, hot and steamy, and I feel like I've used that a few times now. I get him nothing close to Paul Rudd, call him Scott Lang, the name of Ant-Man in the show, and give him more or less just all agility and all luck. I'm not really sure why I picked these stats. Really, even now, looking it back and recording over this, nope, I can't tell you. I watch my woman get snapped out of the universe, and start using my one and only weapon, the unarmed skill. They attach me Pip-Boy and get sent out into the Commonwealth proper. And yes, you did hear that right, the only weapons I'll be using is unarmed. Now I believe in the show he is just kind of a punch kick, go small, go big. And with the Ant-Man mod that I found, it does have an ant gun. But from what I can tell, it's just a very, very powerful laser rifle, so I decided against it.
Can I have one of these? No.
I will just be using the outfits from this mod. However, I do need a few caps before I can do that, so I head over to Trash Can Carla, sell all the nonsense that I've got, mainly ammunition, and head back to pick up my Ant-Man outfit. You can see here that the value is a lot more than just 100 caps, and the resistances are pretty damn good. And you can see, look at that, it's pretty damn good.
In the right hands, the relationship between man and the suit is symbiotic. The suit has power. The man harnesses that power.
Now, like I mentioned before, what I'll be using is the cheat terminal. This is a mod that you can find on the mod menu, at least on PC. And what it does, it allows you to more or less change whatever you want in the game. One of the things being, you can set the height. And it has lots of options, but I'll be mainly looking at the ones that make me a little bit small. Now, one of the big drawbacks to this is every time you set yourself either really tall or really small, it affects your movement. So when I'm being either in the micro form or the dwarf form, you really have to up the movement speed and up the jump height. I mean, it does however make me feel somewhat like a superhero, except when I destroy myself from small damage. I said small damage, not fall damage. Oh, look at me go! Yeah, the micro is ridiculous. I mean, the cracks in the ground are more or less the same height as me. But similar to the superhero himself, it does not affect any of my damage. Meaning that I can fight, kick, punch just as strong as I would be if I was tall. So I take the blitz perk and start making my way around. There is one rather odd feature about being micro. For some reason, any more than 2 VATS attacks drains all your AP and only allows you to get at most 2 shots in. So in terms of multiple men fight, it's probably better to pick one of the taller options. This one here, tallest, is more or less the biggest you can get while being reasonable. And this here is just me being small, which is a lot better if I'm trying to use VATS. I love the cutscenes because it always like flicks back over to me. And I enter this power armor the same way Ant-Man should have entered Thanos. God, it would have been a much shorter movie if he just stuck to the correct plan. The thing that is cool about this mod though, is that it actually shortens down like power armor, it makes it small. But once you leave it, it then turns you back to normal height. It's at this point I decided if I'm going to fight the Deathclaws and all the different raiders, that I might as well make myself as big as possible. And yeah, you can see right here, nonsense is the correct word. I'd probably say I'm about double the height of a Deathclaw. Maybe a little bit smaller than double, but yeah, as you can see, I'm definitely the tallest enemy in this game. However, being tall doesn't make you stronger, so in fact, most of the time it's a lot easier just to be the micro version, because at least it's a lot harder for them to hit you. I got this pretty cool cinematic shot, but not a lot of good it did me.
Are you okay, driver?
Because all I can really do is pick away at the Deathclaw's heel and hope he can't get me. This battle does end up going on for a long time, and I get defeated in the most stylish way, hitting the dab on the way down. But after, well, more or less, I'd probably guess about 20 minutes of just picking away at his heel, running back into a building, then running back out, I do eventually defeat the Deathclaw in Concord. And with that I can pop back in, speak to Preston Garvey in my normal height, and get this nice little show on the road. He is extremely happy with my services, and I decide it's time to head over to Diamond City, in my huge form. I attempt to intimidate Wolfgang with my huge height, but you know what, I gotta give Wolfgang that, he didn't fall for the intimidation. Yeah, he decided to stand there and fight. I get blown up out of nowhere, just passing the Starlight Drive-In. All this helping people though makes me take a sidetrack from Diamond City and go help out all the people that need the Minutemen's help. I might not have the Avengers, but the Minutemen are the closest goddamn thing to it. I battle through all the feral ghouls and reach the Corvega assembly plant where I gotta wipe out all the different raiders who have been messing with the Minutemen. I can make it up here. I decide to try and go for the very tall feature while indoors, and it just doesn't work. It cannot work. I don't know where I'm going. I'm on fire. I'm gone. So I decide just to go for normal height to get through this. I should say now that the reason that I'm changing it to normal, tall, small, I thought if I just did the entire game as a tiny version or a huge version, it would get a little bit boring to watch. So I do try and keep it as fresh as possible as I'm going. I arrive over at Diamond City, and just look at me! Look at me down there. I'm so I'm so small! At this point I decided to add some bladed knuckles for that Wolverine effect, and to be honest, just to speed up the game a little bit. I found myself winning all the battles I was in, but it just took a long time to whittle all the guys down, so I thought why not add some knuckles and speed this up. After doing my superhero duty and helping out Sanctuary, I go over and take a mission to go save Nick. When you put on the maximum movement and the maximum jump height for the small version, you probably only move as quick as a normal character, but it just looks like you're constantly gliding. And it's just a lot of fun to have. It is, however, very important to make sure you change the movement speed and the jump height when you change your size, because even if you go to this small, maybe the kind of smaller version, 10 times movement even here is unbelievably uncontrollable. I go from small to tall and start beating on the top of people's heads. Just a massive forearm down wide with spikes, just bang, bang, bang. And I decide to get back into the Ant version so I can sneak up on Dino. It didn't seem to work, he still somehow spotted me, which is something that obviously the game cannot account for the height of the character when it tries to put you in stealth mode. But there is a part of me as I run around the size of a Coca-Cola can that I'm somehow spotted when people's backs are turned. I just don't quite get that. After saving Nick, it's just a case of getting rid of Skinny Malone and his gang, and luckily this time I was able to make my way around the back and get a nice few sneak attacks on them. After wiping them all out, and now watching it back, not very superhero of me just to sneak up and not even give them a chance to talk. I'm sorry, it's just muscle memory at this point with Skinny Malone. I get Nick out of the sewer and send him back over to Diamond City. For me though, I'm going to head right over to the Mass Fusion building because I want to pick up the Strength bobblehead, and I thought since I'm tall, I could probably do it a lot easier than, well, most normal playthroughs. The gunners in here are mainly not that difficult. The missile guy's a little bit annoying, and I was eventually able to put myself on the biggest height and reach the top. With the 10 times jump on, that also helped out a good amount, and I'm able to sneak right back out with bobblehead in hand. I stand around for a... I know this is supposed to be commentary, but just look at it. Where the hell am I? Where am I looking? You can't even see me because of a lamp on his desk. One thing that is cool though is I get this pretty sick cinematic look at Nick talking. I like the full screen, it's nice. I'm standing on the chair! Look at me! I've not even got the sitting animation. Oh, anyone who doesn't have this, the cheat terminal is great just for general use, just to help you along with any glitches and stuff. But my god, run and get it guys, and just make yourself micro. Don't be a VATS character. VATS sucks in micro form, but my god, it's so much fun. It was at this point I really did start wondering, oh, I want to find a character that's this small, but also uses like a weapon. Because just the idea of me being micro-sized, gliding around the floor like a tiny stick of butter, with a minigun blasting at people's toenails, just, I don't know. I feel like that could be a very fun playthrough. Give me some suggestions down below guys, I need some help with this. Anyway, with my rambling, I've finally reached Kellogg and I'm starting to kick the crap out of his shins with my knuckles. And even going invisible ain't gonna help you. I did think this would be a quite difficult attempt to get out of Kellogg. I've had like more difficult ones in the past. But actually, just with the speed and the size, yeah, a lot of the lasers, because I feel there's a little bit more travel time on them, mostly miss me if I'm constantly moving. So I did find myself very, very rarely losing any HP. With Kellogg defeated, it's just a case of activating his terminal and watching the Brotherhood of Steel fly in to save the day. Now you might be wondering at this point, who am I going to be siding with? I mean, there's a couple factions, some of them make sense, some of them don't. The main person I'm siding with is Abbott and his wall, because I'm a goddamn superhero, and I gotta help this wall. No, all joking aside, I did decide that for this playthrough I was going to side with the Railroad. I get it, for a lot of people they are probably the most hated faction, but they're not the most evil at all. I feel like I've done the Minutemen quite a lot, and the Brotherhood are kind of fascists. So for the Railroad, their whole thing is saving synthetic people, so I mean that's kind of superhero-y. So after painting that wall, I can head over to Good Neighbor and get my show on the road. I enter into Good Neighbor and accidentally attack Deacon.
Sorry! Oh! Seemed like a really great guy.
I mean, the game already trying to vote me against siding with the Railroad. And after I take out Finn for the proper time, I head down into Dr. Amari and start running through the brain. I mean, oh god, I just can't believe it. Oh god. Okay, right back out, and let's head over to the glowing sea. I encounter another situation where I must be another superhero, and I decide to save this man from Art, his twin brother who's claiming he's a synth. Unfortunately, I think I saved the wrong one. But
Cool. Yeah. If it ain't broke.
I don't know that, so back on with my blissful ignorance. Because that's all you need in life is blissful ignorance. I take a page out of, I'll be honest, I'm not great with Marvel. Some robot, Iron Man. I take a page out of Iron Man's book and gear up the 4 Protectrons to help me fight against this Alpha Deathclaw. And my god, it was like a GAN mugging. The Alpha Deathclaw didn't have a goddamn chance in hell. Those 4 Protectrons ripped him apart. I mean, lesson learned, don't mess with Protectrons. And don't mess with the glowing sea, so I decided that I want to have a bird's eye view from the entire thing while I cross it. If I can see all of them, well, they'll probably be able to see me, but I'm tall as hell, so I can just crush them like little bugs. And actually, I think this character is so tall that you go above all the weird smoke and effects the glowing sea is supposed to have on you, so it's actually probably an easier walk. With my added height, I decided why not take atop the temple. Yeah, I've never been up here before. And you know, we've had fun, so let's get... Oh, crap. Again, the fall damage does not care how tall you are, it will... Oh. I'm now getting destroyed by random cars. And crap, I'm now falling through floors. I don't think the character change actually affects the body. As you can see, I fell right through that random church as if my character was a proper height. And if you jump when you're really, really tall, you will just get blown up by the fall damage because the game just thinks that much distance, that much height, that much fall, Club Louie. But less complaining about the cheat terminal that was never meant to be used like this. I've got the plans from Virgil, and I'm just going to get the green tech and get the synth component to save him. Why am I singing the Halo theme song? What's the Ant-Man theme song? I have no idea. Couldn't even tell you. I have seen the Ant-Man movies, they're quite good. I didn't like the last one. Quantum Mania was a bit rubbish. But yeah, Marvel as of late has not got a great track record. What do you guys think of Marvel? Leave a comment down below. They had me up until Endgame, and then it just, for me, it really felt like I'd given it 10 years. That was 10 years of movies and stories and keeping up and, you know, checking out backstory and stuff, things I didn't understand. And I felt like after 10 years I could rest, you know. I deserved the break, and the newer movies just haven't been good enough to reel me back in yet. So yeah, you guys let me know, what do you think of the current state of Marvel? One thing that the Desdemona can marvel at is marvel at this sweet hog. I mean, some component. I mean, courser chip. I mean, suck my knee, Raider. Damn, look at that. Look at that cinematic. That could be in a goddamn trailer. You could have Stan Lee and all the Hulk and all the other people. Who else is it? Superman flashing at the start. Look at that. Look at that. In the movie, he doesn't die from that. Watch it. This one's my favorite. I go complete total Brock Lesnar on him. I mean, I start as. Look at that! Did you see that? Let's get that one more time. A little touch of slow-mo. So I'm up here. I somehow punch him in the back of the head. Teleport, and then he flies into me for a German suplex. I mean, Harold Houdini, Brock Lesnar had a baby. It's Ant-Man right here. I think, and that will be the only comparison in life that Paul Rudd will ever get to Brock Lesnar. Let him know, guys. Anyone here ever interviews him for something, let me know. Tell him to watch this video. But not this part, because we're doing the goddamn railroad quests, and the railroad quests are really no. I don't know why I hate this quest specifically. I really hate doing. Mainly, I think it's because Deacon glitches and you have to walk at his pace to go to the goddamn bridge. Anyway though, less complaining about the railroad, more about what's going on. So, Ant-Man has saved the synth. No, I killed the Courser. That's it. Destroyed the Courser, got the chip, got the plans, but can't make them until I retrieve Carrington's prototype. So we've wiped out all the Sims in these tunnels, and I've picked up Carrington's prototype, and now I can start the main quest properly. Simple task, head over to Tinker Tom, give him the plans, and he is somehow able, out of goddamn scrap, to make a teleporter out of it. And we can start going in there and being like a spy. Ooh. I mean, was Ant-Man ever a spy? Maybe. Probably. I don't know. He's a superhero, so this doesn't make sense. What else would... I mean, the Minutemen would have made the most sense, but come on, we can't always watch the Minutemen when we're being the good guy. We head downstairs and we meet our son. But as you guys know, Ant-Man doesn't have a son, he only had a daughter, so this is a bit of a moot point. This old man starts claiming he's my daughter, which is just no way. How did she grow a beard? And we are now going to start playing the role of infiltrating the Institute. We start our task off by meeting all the heads of the department. I mean, we're polite to as many of them as we can. And we end with Clayton because Clayton's the goddamn best. We meet with Liam, who is Patriot, the man who's releasing the synths up to the surface. And we start formulating a plan with Z-114. We write up a beautiful report, which is probably the least Scotland thing you could think of. And say thank you to Pam. The goal now is to move along and pick up the new password that Liam needs for something. I don't know, I don't really ever listen to the Railroad's quest. Liam needs a password that will help him get more robot people out. Something along those lines. And I become the most angry little bee in these vents as I glide around. I tell Desdemona to stop looking down at me. And I give Liam the good news that I was able to reset his Gmail password. I get a little bit scared from Z14. I mean, if I end up messing this up, he could just step on me. And I'm a little bit offended that no one's even brought up the fact that I am now the size of an ant. But you know what? Screw all of you. If you're not going to pay attention to me when I'm small, then you'll pay attention to me when I'm big. So, I got to attack Libertaria, get the new, or the whatever escaped Gabriel, whatever his name is, and bring him back to the Institute. I did attempt to just hop right up to the roof from the bottom, but I think it is somewhat blocked off for this quest. I am unable to just get there. So I decided just to, well, what normal people do and, well, walk through the door. And walking through the door enters me into I mean, this is an area that was never supposed to be seen by man, was it? The gods are dead, and we killed them when we became Mahusiv. So I eventually have to put myself back to normal size so I can see X6 and make my way to the roof. I try my best as I always do in trying to wipe out the synth before he can be teleported away. And this time I was pretty close. I got him down to nearly a quarter of his health, but, well, the Courser already stepped in and, well, he gets saved. I head back to speak with Father, and I let the Institute know all about the things that was going to happen over at Bunker Hill. But I'm still playing my role, so I head over to X418. And just, well, I can run past the Brotherhood and the Railroad at this point. No one's upset with me. Especially not the Sims, so this is probably the easiest Bunker Hill's ever been. The only things that are annoyed at me are the turrets for some reason.
Say this was some old warehouse? It's not! You son of a bitch!
I imagine they just weren't able to lock these onto a certain faction. Maybe it reads me as Institute, I don't know. But once we get downstairs, we obviously do the superhero thing, and we let them all go. They seem pretty ecstatic about this information, but X418 is not too pleased, so we gotta punch him in the face until he stops complaining. After a couple sweet right hooks, he falls to the ground, and I have to go and explain myself to daughter father and tell him how I failed. I mean, literally no one reports back anything that happened, so we can just say whatever we want. I let Z414 also. There's all similar numbers, aren't they? About the plan, and what we've got to do now is wipe out the guards. I did not know that these guards were so resistant to goddamn melee weapons. Or unarmed. Like, it actually took a lot of attempts to wipe out all these guards. Probably the hardest battle up until this point in the game. However, what I do is I just pop in, punch once, pop back out, and eventually get them all gone and go back to speak with father. We learn that again, that my daughter's going to get snapped out of existence, and that they want to put me in charge of all of it. I mean me. I'm the perfect man for the job. We speak with Ali Fillmore about attacking the mass fusion building, and to be honest, I'm getting a little bit anxious, still being in normal height, so let me get over there as quick as possible, so I can get myself into ant battle mode. Being normal height is for losers. Case in point, this Brotherhood initiate who had no idea what was coming at him. One group of people though who were fully aware of the task that they had were the Brotherhood in power armor. Now I'm telling you right now, I have never seen the Brotherhood of Steel use that perk that drops the fusion cores onto the ground.
Nailed it!
I've never seen it. I've never seen it in any playthrough I've ever done until this one. And believe me, they start using them a lot in this playthrough. I'm wondering if it's because I'm running so much between their legs that they just register my character as being so close and hard to hit, so they start dropping the fusion cores. But again, how many challenges have we done on this channel where we fight the Brotherhood? And this is the first time I've ever noticed it. I don't know, just interesting. You guys let me know if that was common to happen at this point in the game, because it certainly wasn't for me. And one thing I also wasn't ready for is goddamn ghosts appearing out of nowhere. Hi Ali, how are you doing? Ho ho! And we pass right through to the Beryllium Agitator, and my height has no effect on this section. PSA for all of you wondering. One of actually the more simpler fights was the Sentry Bot. I don't think it was able to shoot me, I don't think it was able to hit me. I think I was just actually too small for it to get any sort of damage on me. So after a good amount of just waiting, I'm able to explode him to the next century. And take my sweet time wiping out the Assaultrons as well. With that, I can head back to the reception area, help the other synths get them out, and teleport my sween tiny cheeks right back to the Institute. I hand over the tiny Beryllium Agitator to Ali, and get my father, daughter, son, whatever he is, to tell me he's proud of me. Thanks, Dad. You won't regret saying it. For some reason we still haven't got to the point where the synths try and break out, so we've got to go all the way over here and speak to TK Wallace, or whatever his name is. I get sent to the Multiverse of Madras when I walk through the door, and it just keeps, whoa, Doctor Strange, what did you put in this tea? What do you mean I didn't drink any tea? We eventually are able to calm him down and resolve this somewhat amicably, which it'll be funny, wait till the end to just see how this decision affects the ending. And I head back to plan my speech with Father. I obviously give a very nice and rah-rah speech to be polite, insert the Beryllium Agitator into the reactor, and send all the different scientists back for a meeting. I've got the training wheels off, he's giving me full control. And with that, I try and resolve any conflict as much as possible. But unfortunately, we are informed that the Brotherhood are trying to attack the railroad. But have no fear, Minimite is here, and I'm going to rip off all your toenails. And again, I get myself into a situation where there is so much chaos happening, no one is even able to hit me. I show Desdemona the size of the poop right in front of me that I just took, and oh no. Oh Gloria, oh no. Anyway, moving on, we head straight over into the catacombs, and look, they're dropping fusion cores on me again. When did they start doing this crap? And the funniest part is, if they drop it, most of the time they have to jump out of the power armor. So they're not even helping themselves. Very strange tactic. What should we do? We've got a really fast small enemy. What are we going to do? Well, let's just take off all of our protection from it and try and blow them up with a Hail Mary. Yeah, no wonder the Brotherhood lose in this game. They're all goddamn idiots. Another fusion core exploding behind my ass. And now I can save myself about an hour of time because the Brotherhood of Steel guys out of the power armor. With him taken out, we get Desdemona to set up the final plan. Wipe out the Brotherhood and then wipe out the Institute. The stars in the night even peer through the roof to tell us the good news. And I decide, well, I've not been tall for a while, why not attack the entire Brotherhood of Steel while being a massive giant? Unfortunately, I am unable to speak to Tinker Tom because I am so goddamn tall. So I shrink down for just a little second, and then start stomping my way straight up to the doors of the Cambridge police station. I am unfortunately not able to jump straight onto the roof, which was a bit disappointing. I thought I could really speed this up. No, instead I have to punch Reese right into the ground with my massive fists. And I even get some cinematic unarmed attacks while I'm here. And oh, Jesus Christ, look at that, look at that, look at that, look at it! Boom! Jesus Christ! I swear they end up taking up more of their own soldiers than they ever do me. And as I try to get on the roof there, you can notice well, that's one way to walk into a door, I suppose. When I enter the building in my nonsense stage, you can see that I am just... I mean, if you can follow anything that's going on, let me know, because I don't know what it is. And I finally reach the roof where I'm able to wipe out the last of the Brotherhood of Steel. Just give me a second to keep puncturing this massive tin can. With that, I I go into mini size just to see what happens, and look at me! Look at me! Look at me! It's so funny. It's just hilarious that everything that I hold scales with me. I mean, even in giant form. Look at... Oh, it's so stupid. So much fun. I really had a lot of fun with this playthrough. Anyway, we give Tinker Tom the good news, and he gives us all the information we need to start attacking the Pridwin. Now, obviously going into my giant form for the Pridwin wouldn't be too smart, so I decided to jump into my small version, get on the Brotherhood of Steel uniform, and throw on a stealth pod. If I'm going to be an ant, I cannot get detected. And by that I mean I cannot get stopped by any of the named NPCs on this plane, or boat, or whatever the hell it is. And you can actually do that pretty simple. You can take a couple different routes, but you can avoid more or less any of the soldiers that try and have a conversation with you. Approaching from the rear, I'm able to get a clear shot through all the different little red gas valve areas where I can plant all the explosives. With that, it's just a case of getting my sweet little ankles off of this ship and back onto the Claymore. No fighting, no battling, no nothing. Exactly how the Ant-Man would do it. Would he destroy an evil alien ship? Yeah, sure, probably. Tony Stark did it, he was a good guy. Ant-Man's probably done it. Yeah, maybe. With that, Desdemona still decides to look down on me. But we can finally spring our final plan into action. It's time to start a revolution! And by that I mean punch a bunch of robots in the back of the head. A revolution! That could be a hint to the next video after this. It's a bad hint. It's so loosely related to what I just said to the next video. If anyone writes exactly what the next playthrough will be based on that hint, I mean, I'll eat my flex tape. That's not a hint either. Anyway, Ant-Man is running through the corridors like I always do, avoiding the fights and just getting my sweet butt right through it. I even run right past all the gorillas because, again, there's not 100 of me to fight them. That's old. That's an old joke, old reference. Brickmaker, get a grip. Stop making outdated references. I mean, look at me. I'm doing an Ant-Man playthrough. There's nothing to do with Ant-Man in the media right now. Why am I doing this now? Not even waiting for a new Marvel movie. I do the superhero thing and, well, make sure the evacuation is signaled. And I throw on another stealth pod so I can get myself straight into the main reactor room without being caught. However, once I do eventually reach it, I mean, there wasn't much for me to do. You can't exactly hide when you're down here. But I am able to wipe out the two special synths, plant the fusion bomb right on top of the reactor, beat the crap out of the guy that I forced to come here earlier. I mean, damn, like I said before, like, he must be really confused. And make my way back to Tinker Tom. I decide, sure, why not, it saves Sean. What harm could it do? And I let Tinker Tom know there's nothing left for me here and that we can get right out. We teleport ourselves back to the roof, get a nice bird's eye view of the Diamond City, clicking the button, finishing the game, answering that yes, you can indeed beat Fallout 4 as the Ant-Man.
Nailed it!
Well, I hope all you guys enjoyed the video. That was a lot of fun. It was surprisingly a lot of fun. It just started off as like a silly idea. I saw the height change, I saw the armor in the mod. I thought, why not put them together, see what happens. And yeah, I found myself laughing out loud, probably more than most other videos that I've made, just because of the sheer ridiculousness of the size of the character sometimes. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like down below, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, and yeah, please leave any comments that any other Marvel characters you want to see, any other runs in general. Remember to try and give that guess to the next run down below, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.